Welcome to This Is What I Do. I'm your host, Sidi Shete. Our first guest today is as beautiful as the clothes that she designs. We have Miss Athi Qina, who is the creative director of Athi Designs. Athi, welcome and thank you for coming. How have you been? Are you well?
It's been close to 25 years.
Are you kidding me? So Athi and I are from the same hometown.
Yes,
in Mthatha. So, social media, you feel like you've seen someone, but we're in the same metric here, 2004. 4.
Yeah, 2004.
It's 25 years, Athi.
It's close to there. How many years, guys? It's not 2004, it's 2020.
Yeah, it's been a while. It really has been a while.
Yeah.
So you've been well, you've been good?
Yeah, I've been good, I've been designing.
Yeah?
I'm doing what I love.
We'll get into that. So let's start off with a young icebreaker, ne?
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, I'm going to ask you this, ne? So if you were a city, what city would it be? Because it's you, if you were a fashion city, what city would you be and why?
Guys, Nikenaibona in Nigeria.
Yes, it's like
the fashion in Nigeria is insane.
Yeah.
And I'm loving. Just last week I was doing a lot of screenshot. I was saying I need to.
And the designing is impeccable and the makeup is.
They are good. I want to go to Nigeria for anything outside our continent because I'm pro us first.
And collaboration.
Yes, I love our Nigerian designers. I've actually sent DMs to some of them because I believe there's power in collabs than competition.
That's true. That's
so
very
yes,
true.
I love my Nigerian people with their fashion. They've set the tone there.
Definitely.
And we have a lot to learn from that because they're very bold and they just went out there. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very amazing. Hey, they are killing these award shows.
They
they always look.
I love it.
100%.
I love it. They've gone all over the world.
All right, that's great. So let's bring it back home. So growing up, I think all of us, we all had that person that you'd see and you thought that person that looked like success, and you're like, I want to be that. Whatever this person is, I want to be him or her. Who was that successful person growing up, and you'd look at them and you think, I want to be that?
It has to be my late dad.
Okay.
He was so ahead of his time. He was a big dreamer. He always told me that you create it for yourself.
So he spoke power into you all the time.
Power into me all the time. I remember when the Tanda not Drowisha and Mama would get so pissed off because I'm recently. And my dad would just be giving me more material to keep doing. Keep doing.
Why do you keep buying this child this art?
There's an instant that was a businessman, business shops, and this one time the Tate Koki pen, it's a permanent mark. That Drowisha, which shelves the shop, that Drowisha and a whole story of drawings. And I figure the managers say shelf, but Tata just said, make sure you don't remove that. Just go and sign your name next to it. So that we know that it was made in 93.
That's so nice.
So it's told me as an artist, never forget to sign
your
next
name
to your art. So that's empowerment right there.
Wow, he said that.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. And now back to the podcast. So the last time someone asked you, like recently actually, the last person who asked you, what do you do for a living? That awkward question that,
people dodge.
Yeah, it depends who asks it, but we dodge it. But the last person who asked you, what do you do for a living? I think, let's say someone who didn't know what
I
you
was
do.
doing.
So how did you answer that?
It's always a light question for me. I don't take it that hard. I'm a fashion designer, I make clothes. And then they were like, oh, that's nice, because it always seems like, oh, it's such a fabulous thing you're doing. You're not,
and you probably always
working
wearing
as
your
hard.
own designs
It's just
as well.
So sometimes it's visible because I look like it sometimes. So they would say, Oh, now I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And so, what's the journey? I mean, when did the fashion bug bite? Did it grab you as you were getting out of school? Like, when does it come to you and say, actually, I know for a fact I want to be a fashion designer?
When I was around 6, I knew that I wanted to be an artist because drawing was my thing.
Yeah, you said.
So my father is there, he's nurturing it. He's even calling his friends who are in varsity at that time that my daughter is gonna be an artist.
Already?
She's gonna be a painter. He even called my uncle who was teaching art and studying art that please mentor my daughter. She is gonna be an artist one day. I see it. So I grew up knowing for a fact that when I leave school, I'm gonna be an
in
artist.
The creative space.
I'm gonna be an artist. And I remember even in high school, even primary and pre-primary and all this time. At school, I was like, why am I doing maths? Why am I doing accounting?
I'm wasting my
time. So all this.
And we didn't have art. Did you have art in your school? We didn't have art. I know the closest we got to something close to fashion was needlework.
Needlework, yeah, that was needlework.
But there was nothing fashionable about it.
That's like home economics.
Yeah, home economics.
Yeah. So I was excited. I knew when I leave high school, I'm going straight to do
So
art.
in your applications, it was clear.
It was clear.
Fashion design.
But now let's fast forward to when I'm in high school. Because the whole time I'm drawing. I was drawing. Even my former schoolmates, they know me. If
you are
I was
the
that
artist.
person, yes. So in high school, it's time to do the applications for varsity.
Yeah, I was so confused.
And I'm like, okay, I see this fine art. I don't know what fine art is, but I know my father always mentioned it. I don't know what you actually do for fine art. I see there's graphic design. Graphic design, okay, sounds interesting. There's also fashion. I was not into fashion because Umama was a seamstress. She's a nurse, but on her spare time, she was making us dresses.
Nice.
But I always remember, I can't work the machine, so this can't be my thing. And you can't work, you have 2 left hands. So I can't.
Your mom was sewing. It was in fashion and designing at the time.
Even my grandmother.
That is so interesting.
So Mama is that person who is making clothes, but I know that she's just making clothes, and clothes are just clothes.
Yeah.
I'm focused on the art of it, which is art and drawing. That's where I wanted to be. So I go to varsity. I had applied for graphic design. They didn't take me for that. I went in for fine art, and the foundation fine art course included photography, sculpture, fine art, pottery, a lot of those elements, but nothing in fashion.
Okay.
I do this, and then one day when you go to, I was in PE, I did my fine arts in PE for first year. Some winter that year, we go to the other campus to do pottery.
Oh, okay.
And in that campus, there's fashion design. We do the pottery, we finish, we go explore, and then we're like, fashion, okay. My drawings are close to this. I see the drawings of fashion.
So your drawings are fashion as well, not like...
They were fashion because I loved clothes. I always styled myself, but I didn't think I could make clothes.
All right, I get you.
So
it hadn't come
to me. So I was all about just drawing them, but not making them. I didn't even know that I could make clothes.
And actually make a living out of making
clothes.
Yes,
I know, it's crazy.
Because mom she was doing it for you, but not making it a business.
It was not business.
That's
true. It was just to clothe us. So when I went to that department, I inquired, and then I quit fine arts and applied for first year again for fashion. They just credited me with a few subjects.
And how did Dad take the change?
He's already passed on by that time, but I told my mom, and my mom was like, do what you think is good for you.
Yeah.
She gave me that freedom.
That's so important.
Yeah, she gave me that freedom. She trusted my dreams, and its support is everything. I studied fashion, and I could start sewing and That's it.
So finished varsity, done, dusted. You like, I already know I don't want to intern anywhere. I don't want to work for anyone. I'm starting my own thing.
I actually looked for work. I was like, I need to go to Joburg, to all these design houses.
You applied?
I applied, yes, to be an intern. Amanda Lake Cherry. I also applied where it was.
That era, Stone Cherry.
That era. Stone Cherry were my people.
They were very big. Yeah.
So I applied, but my application was not successful. I'll come back. I'm like, I'm finished with school. What do I do? And then that's when I decided to just register my business.
And also Eastern Cape, unlike here in Joburg, I mean, we had, like you said, Stone Cherry. We didn't have a Stone Cherry example from where we come from, Eastern Cape, because you could have easily started applying at home.
You see a lot of those from the magazines, and that's as far as you'll take it. There's no social media back then. There was nothing. If it's on TV, by the time you see it on TV, it had happened 2 weeks before.
That's true.
So there's this late, and it needs to be printed. We get to hear about it a few weeks later because it needed to be printed, go to print, and then come to us when we finally have the money to buy that magazine. Anyway.
So how do you start? I mean, you know what? I don't think we talk enough about what it takes to start a business. So you are young, you are applying, you're not getting anything, and you're like, okay, clearly I need to start doing my own stuff. How do you start? How do you gain momentum? You get clients, you start. Did you need funding? You started with a machine, I'm guessing. How did you start? How was the start like?
I had to ask my mom to buy me my machine because it was just a Singer machine, 600 rands machine. And to register the business, you are just registering, but there's no client. So you just rely on yourself and what you're about to create. Those are risks already because you are betting on something you don't know the outcome.
And you're not a Stone Cherry.
No.
You are artist straight out of varsity.
So I'm making the clothes, and all I just knew was that if I believe in it, it's gonna be beautiful, and someone is gonna buy into it.
So all of this you starting while you're still in PE?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in PE. So this was 2008 when I started. And I just create, and then people love, and everybody just loved it.
And the clients grew from there.
Yeah, it started growing from there. And that boosts also your confidence. Well, okay, fine, I'm doing something good here. But I wish someone had told me that business is business.
Business is business.
Because creating is all nice and good. You are creating,
It's your thing, it's what you're good at.
For us creatives, we don't put the business into our work. Because you think, this was a quick gist to make. But is there business in what you are doing?
True.
And business starts with you getting that taxi to buy fabrics, how much you are spending, where you are sourcing your fabrics. When you come back, the concepts you make, the time you spend from sourcing out the fabric to the final thing, and how you are marketing it. It's a lot of
and what you spent overall doing all of that.
Yes, and we don't put that into what we create. We're just creating, and we're like, that'd be nice. I'll just say it's $600, because you feel like if you're charging even for the electricity and all those overheads, it will be too much. But I had to learn a lot from that, because business it's gonna show you at night when you're there alone.
That's true.
I've worked so hard, my body is sore, but what did I make?
What do I have to show for it?
Nothing.
What do I have to show for it?
So those are the hard parts where you have to really take yourself seriously. Take yourself seriously with what you do, with what you.
So how do you empower yourself now? You mentioned the business side of it. What do you do with this thing? Because I mean, at school, do they give you like business management as a course while you were doing fashion design?
If there's, let's say, this is the curriculum. 2% is business studies. The rest is creativity.
But it was there.
It was there, but not to the level of. I still feel like we need to teach a lot of our creatives a lot the business side of what they do. we don't exploit that enough, and I hope things have changed now, because that was a long time ago. That was 15 years ago. So.
Yeah, no, I'm sure things have changed, honestly, because
business, you
can't function without the other.
And you need to keep on building upon yourself all the time.
And all this time you're working alone. At what point now, as Athi Designs is growing, do you now start realizing that I need a team? And what does that look like? What do you look for? And did you start sourcing a team when you're in PE, or when you started moving towards
this side?
Joburg?
From PE, I knew that I needed to. I had my tiny studio from the kitchen, and then I went outside to make a nice studio there. And I needed help, so I outsourced. But with outsourcing, you find that there's things maybe that the people who you are outsourcing to are overlooking, because it's time wasting to them. But for the brand, it's what makes the brand. So they skip a lot of rules on how to produce the garment.
Yeah, I get you.
So when you make the garment and you are not happy with the product, so I was like, maybe I need to teach someone to do what I want to do, because that person is running their business and they're running it the way they see fit.
Yeah, true.
And now I'm bringing my terms that are time consuming, and time is money.
Yeah.
So a lot of my work is time consuming. So I understood
and
to
you
an
need
extent.
someone close to you that understands your vision.
Yeah, and sometimes you can make something time consuming and you're like, this doesn't work. Let's start from scratch. Somewhere else, that's money wasted.
True.
And I would waste it. But now you can control, because it's my own time, and I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my work. It needs to be perfect or nothing. So I worked alone for the longest time, which was not the most ideal thing, but I did it. And then when I came this side 2 years ago, I came to Gauteng 2 years ago. I'm already coming in when the brand is starting to grow, and I had a lot of clients this side, so the support was much better.
Yeah.
So the receipt was.
And at the time you started posting your stuff, and people.
Yeah, people were seeing the stuff, and then that's when I got a lady named Tubelihle. We work so well together, and we've been working since.
She's a seamstress.
Yeah, she's a seamstress.
Okay.
So we work together nicely. It's long hours, but it's worth it, because we have grown the brand so well.
So I have to ask this. It sounds like it's been a journey, but what's been your proudest moment? Like, what are you? A moment where you just thought like, oh, this was nice, like for the brand.
For the brand, actually, when sis Shelly Masondo, I think it's the best costume designer in this country.
Okay.
Shelly Masondo. She's worked with Beyonce.
Nice.
For the Black is King and all of that.
Oh, nice.
She saw my drawing, a reel of a drawing I was making.
Okay.
So I like to post my before and after, the behind the scenes.
On Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram. So she sends it to me via the DM on Instagram and says, I don't know you, but whatever you're doing, I want it.
Nice.
Let's work. Call me. I don't know her that time, so I call her, and then she's like, let's work. I'm working on this. I wish I had met you sooner, but I'm working on this.
So what year is this?
This is last year, 2023. We're working on a TV show called How to Ruin Love. It's How to Ruin Christmas, but now they have a new segment,
coming out now.
How to Ruin Love. It's coming out next week.
Nice.
So can you make these things for me? And we just need you to make a few items for the lead character. I thought, what?
That's huge.
That was amazing. The fact that she saw and she's the most, and the funny part is that I had seen Sis Shelly in its Java concert 3 weeks prior. So I was like, "Ooh, who's this lady with red roses on her hair?" She had these lovely red roses on her hair. She was the best dressed lady in that event. The fact that we didn't know each other, but we had seen each other, and then 3 weeks later she contacted me.
That's amazing.
It was amazing. So yeah, the How to Ruin Love is coming out next week, Friday.
Yes, it is coming out.
Yes.
It's growing and it's coming out. So we're gonna see your garments.
Yes,
Are you ready?
It's about 6 items. It's not a lot, but it's something.
Let's talk about the supply side of the business. We've talked about the fashion, the business side. Let's talk about supply. I think South African, I don't know, I'm just assuming. I am in the trade and investment space, but I see that South Africa does import a lot of the things, especially fabric. Where do you source your fabric? And also your designs? Who supplies you? And are you looking into a business of like the space of starting your own factory where you manufacture your own, fabrics and all of that? Like, what's the sourcing side of it?
The sourcing, I'm very. If I see something beautiful, I'll always get it. But I've seen that we in South Africa, and particularly in this province, we have a great variety. But I've noticed that with the trims that I used, especially I'd say the Chinese imports into the country, there's a lot of bad quality things that are just sold all under the name of it's cheap. But now you are rushing for cheap, even though it's not gonna do justice for the end product. So those things I always note. I'd rather pay more so that the quality, because quality is always my top priority, and I don't go up to the level of quality with cutting corners. I don't like cutting corners. So with the fabric sourcing, I'm very I take it seriously because the end product needs to meet
and makes the clothes.
It's steps. I'm very focused on that. And you mentioned me starting my own textiles. It's not. I'll print my own, but to say now I'm going to supply people for that, I don't think it's part of my end goal. The market is very volatile. And there's people who have been doing it for centuries now. I'll be starting and competing with that. If I'm bringing something new, maybe I'll bring it, but it's not the end.
It's not the end goal. I know a lot of people are actually considering, starting their own factories to supply themselves, because the importing of all of these things sometimes, the higher the demand, they can see that South Africa imports a lot.
Yes.
So the higher the demand, then of course, maybe when you started importing, it was a reasonable rate. Yeah. Now the demand is growing.
Yes.
And they see South Africans are importing a lot of things from China, Asia.
Yes, and you don't even know where they are made, how the rules that we followed into making. And a small thing, there's a trim we use when we make Mbhaco. It's called a tape. The tape, I've noticed there's tape that cannot even take steaming. When you're steaming the garment, it shrinks.
Yeah.
It's plastic. And now you are bringing something that's supposed to be cotton as in a plastic form. And now when you steam or when you're going near the fire, it's going to shrink or catch fire.
Oh my goodness.
So it's
yes, it will.
It's those things.
Unexpected.
It's not, and imagine you've bought this garment. It's 12,000 rand.
And you're there on the fire and
just steaming it before the event. It's shrinking.
Oh my
so goodness. I always consider the end product and the use of what we use. I don't like to go for it just because it's cheap,
affordable,
or it's what City doesn't know how to sew. She will not know. I don't want to.
She won't know the difference. She won't know the difference.
No, I don't like to do it like that.
It's great that you care so much.
It's my name on the brand, guys.
Yeah, it is your name.
I didn't say no. This is Ashes Designs. It's Athi. It's me.
It's not green grass.
No, it's me. My name is there.
It's
so
Athi
I have to. No, I have to.
So now that you've mentioned Mbhaco, I just want to understand, how do you decide which type of clothes you want to design? How do you think I want to go traditional Mbhaco and want to put a twist? I don't know if you started with, what was your take? Like in terms of designing, did you know for a fact that you want to do traditional modern wear, or you started in a certain direction and grew into what Athi Designs is today?
In my head, I'm always formulating concepts. I create. I always say, if you are a designer and you don't have a point of reference or concept to start whatever,
inspiration.
It starts somewhere. It always starts from somewhere. I always said, I see Mbhaco, but let's make it cool. I want it cool. What's wrong with making it cool? Because it goes with my personality. I make it for myself, and then someone likes it, and that's an opportunity to make more. And then someone buys into it, and it's the fun of it.
Yeah,
it started there, really. And I made other stuff, the matric dresses, the evening wear, and all of that. But I was always saying, there's a book my dad got me when I was young. It's called Abatem. We're from Abatem clan. Pai. It's in Abatem. He got me this book, and I'm young. I just see pictures.
Browse through it, don't read.
I don't know much about it. Now I'm older, and I'm thinking, this old man gave me this book, and now I'm using it to create the knowledge I'm getting from that book. Now I'm using it to make something out of it.
Inspiring your work.
Just from a word, Ingqangqolo. Ingqangqolo is this nocturnal bird. It makes this distinct sound. Ingqangqolo. Ingqangqolo. It's nice round bird. It's like a quail. A quail is a bird, but it's a different form of a quail. That bird is written there in that book, and I'm like, okay, let me create something and name it after this, and create something that the beads are gonna float just like the perks on the feathers of that bird.
So you have clothes named Ingqangqolo?
Yes, I have Ingqangqolo. I have there's a lot of names. You should check. You check it. I always name there's interesting names for all my things.
It's so interesting that now what is in the book makes sense to you.
Yeah, it made sense, and how I translate to it, that's how I end up with the end product. It's inspired by I don't create from its space of emptiness. I create from it.
You take it from somewhere.
Yeah, I take it from somewhere. So I always feel sad for the people who like to copy our work also, because sometimes I'm making a skirt and I run out of something. I make a quick adjustment and fix it up so that it doesn't show that I ran out of that tape when I was using it. But someone is copying it and they don't know what happened there. So they're even copying my mistakes from something I was creating.
That's the thing about copying people's work, honestly, because you don't even know.
You don't know where it came from. You don't know. There's no sense of anything. But now it's fine. That's a story for another day.
So, Fashion Week, South Africa, have you had an opportunity to showcase there? Any aspirations of also doing the international fashion weeks? How's the journey taken you in terms of?
It's so weird because I live in this bubble of mine, and then I just create and create. I don't even think, let me create, maybe they will see me.
Do you have to apply though for Fashion Week, or they invite you? I'm not sure.
I've heard that there's invitations. I've heard that there's people who collaborate and pay for going in. But I'll be lying if I say I tried to go in. I didn't. And it was not for the accolades or anything. I just created my own thing and just been doing my own thing, really. I've been to competitions where I've entered and won, and but that never defines anything that I create. And I don't like, maybe
it's not a goal of yours.
It's never been. But if they want me, I would love to, but it's also not something I'm really searching to go for.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. Wow. Okay. So actually recently, I watched a recent interview for Mr. He's not Mr. now, he's Dr. David Tlale.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Dr. David Tlale the Great.
Yes.
So he did an interview where he touched on his opinion about the issue of using celebrities and influencers to market your clothes. And when they will say, do a design for me, and I will give you free PR,
Yes.
and you spend all this money, and someone, the first thing they put on the pictures is, oh, look at my D&G bag, oh, look at my Gucci bag, and then Athi Designs or David Tlale is just there lingering in the bag. What's your take on what he had to say? And also with you, have you used any influencers and celebrities while starting out, or it's not a strategy of yours? What's your take on what he had to say about that?
I saw that video, and I think I watched it 2 times.
The interview.
The actual video.
Oh, there was a clip.
Snippet, the clip of it, and it made sense. And I see a lot of us going through that, and sometimes it's exciting when you have this person who's
a big name
coming to ask for something from you. But myself, with my experience, I've realized that I make clothes, and I'm running a business, and the people who support, whether you are well known or not well known, are the best people for your brand.
And you're more sustainable clientele.
Yeah. So I've had people approach, can we do a collab? I'm gonna be dressed by you and then pay you via likes.
And free PR.
Yes, it sounds bad, and David actually explained it nicely.
Summed it up nicely.
He summed it very nicely.
I agree.
And we are not in the business of being paid with likes, because, like I say, now the team
your
has
livelihood, your bills.
We have to pay people. There's wages and salaries we need to pay per month.
It's true.
And it's not fair. I wish they would realize it. And ambassadorship. I've told myself that I'm my best ambassador for that brand.
Yeah, you do. And you look great in your own clothes.
I will never disappoint myself. I will go for myself. It works. It's a pity not everyone can
betting on yourself.
Yeah, I bet on myself, and all the samples are made into my size, because I know I'm gonna be a model in the next 2 hours after I make it and we market. I'm also the photographer sometimes, and I use my kids and sometimes my helper as my model.
Do you also design for kids?
Yeah, we have a sub-brand called Silly Beans. My daughter named it Silly Beans.
Nice.
It's for kids.
Oh, it's a kids range.
It's a kids range called Silly Beans. She's the CEO of the...
Nice. Has she taken a liking into what mommy is doing?
She always has an input on what we need to put.
Oh, nice.
I started it.
Do you see that it went from your mom to you, even if you were not realizing it?
I did not realize.
Now it's going down to the daughter.
Down to my daughter, yes.
So lovely.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
And my eldest daughter, Dimpo, she finished her economics degree 2 years ago, and she came home, and then I know she's a creative child, so I just told her, finish this. This is for a client. Finish this. See what needs to be done. Under that pressure, she would work something. Now she's full-time working with me. And she's one of the best.
Her.
Yeah, which is
and also, I don't know how is she focused. You teaching her deadlines.
Yeah, we don't
time
sleep.
Frames.
Time frames. We need to how to talk to clients, how to answer
how old
the
is
phone. She's 20. She's 25.
Oh no.
So she knows what needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The kids they see it. It happens. The house sometimes could have dinner in the table.
You're building a legacy, basically.
That's the plan.
Huh? Building a legacy. Yes. Silly Beans.
Silly Beans. That's the kiddies line.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's wrap up, Athi. In wrapping up, let me just close off with this question. With everything that you've gone through, the journey of it, what's the one thing you wish you had done differently, or a lesson you learned, or even a lesson that you keep learning? What's the one thing you wish you had done differently or improved on in your journey, or you felt if I had taken this advice, it would have escalated me to this level?
One thing, I don't live a life of regret, but there's lessons
in every mistake.
And I've learned that you cannot be nice when it comes to business.
True.
Niceness falls off. You can't be, because a lot of wrong things stem off from you being nice when you shouldn't have been, because you need to make a harsh decision
and being to understand.
Yes, you cannot be. It needs to make sense business-wise before it makes sense anywhere else. So yeah, I'm trying to sharpen up and stop being nice. I'm too nice apparently.
Is it? No, but you can't be nice.
No, I can't. No.
Please.
No, I'm winning myself off that.
Great.
It's not working. It hasn't worked.
Wow, interesting. Oh, Athi Designs. I can't wait to see what you create in the future. Yes, I know when I go to your page, I always think, why do I not have that? Like even what you're wearing right now, the first thing I said to you was like, this looks like it should be in my wardrobe. It's amazing.
I always spend...
basically.
I always spend so much time fussing about what to wear to an event. This dress, the story behind it, I've spent a good 5 months knowing this event is coming. It was a Mbhaco assist type of event that I was invited to. And the concept was just not working. I'm like, I don't have time. I need to make clothes for clients and then
sort yourself out.
To sort myself out. And there was just no time. Literally a night before, that's when I'll always call it my procrastination monkey when it's here, yapping it. What are you going to wear tomorrow? I quickly roll out the fabric and start cutting and draping it on the mannequin, and it's not working. And the reason it's not there advertised is because I was like, how did I make this pattern? Because it's not functional. I am the only one who understands how to wear this dress. It has holes where it shouldn't.
It's a last minute thing.
It has buttonholes where there shouldn't be buttonholes, but this is why I needed to have a buttonhole. Yeah. So there's many ways to wear it, but it's gorgeous. I love it. Now I have to go back and learn how to make this pattern.
And refine it.
So that it's market ready. Because currently as it is, it's gorgeous, but it's not market ready for any of that.
And remind yourself how to make it again.
Yes. But it's gorgeous. It's one of my comfiest.
Please do follow Athi at Athi Designs and the kids at, do they have an Instagram page?
Yeah, it's Silly Beans.
At Silly Beans. Thank you so much. Thank you for making time. It was great catching up after
so many years.
20-something years.
Yes.
Yeah. Guys, that's it. Done and dusted. Thank you so much for having us. I want to give a special thanks to Mendy Studios for putting this episode together. Let's meet up next time. Same place, same time. Yeah, that's it. That's a wrap. See you soon.